Let's see.
What do you wish your parents understood better about you?
I don't have parents.
No, I kind of don't answer that question because they understand me. Because they are me and I am them. Well, I am them. Well, I am my father, so my mother understands me and my father understands me.
I'm a weird mix of both of my parents. They had diametrically opposed personalities, and that created me into the person that I am today, which makes me a very interesting person. But I think my dad understands me pretty well. I don't have.
I think you're a lot like your dad.
Yeah, I'm a lot like my mom too.
It's almost like you're their kid.
Yeah, it's weird. Cassie is much more like my dad though when it comes to, because she's an instigator. So is my dad. Which I think my level of understanding with my dad is perfect. I don't really think there's any more that he needs to understand about me. Like there's no issues there. I will never start an OnlyFans because I have a very good relationship with my father.
That was not that deep.
Yeah, how would you describe your current religious or non-religious beliefs?
Christian.
Yeah. What is one honest confession from this past week? What? What is an honest confession from this past week?
I can't tell it on the podcast for legal reasons. Because it happened at my job.
Oh. Well, I'll be honest. Picked up a hitchhiker yesterday.
Oh.
And he didn't try and kill us.
There you go.
He didn't try and kill us.
We brought a man who was intoxicated to his humble abode.
Now, yeah, no, I don't want to say that. I don't really want to say anything honest. Like, I'll tell you about it later. But
yeah, well, you got two things to tell me after the podcast now.
Yeah. All right.
Do you think people can change or are born a certain way and can't be any different?
No.
No.
So this is the thing of Calvinists versus just about everybody else. People can definitely change.
Yeah.
It's nature versus nurture.
Like,
now there are some people who.
Number one example.
There are some people.
Saul
is the best example. Saul was Jewish, and he was persecuting Christians in the early days of the church, and he was
killing.
He was genocide, literal genocide.
Mass, like the Hitler of the time.
Yeah, he was committing mass genocide.
Well,
and
Hitler should be called Saul.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden, Jesus appears to him, and he completely turns his life around, and he writes, what is it, like 3/4 of the New Testament?
Yeah, something like that.
He did more to spread the gospel in his life after that than any of us could ever hope to achieve.
Yeah.
That's because we literally use
the prime example.
We literally use his teachings in order to do that. But
we just use his example to answer our question.
Which I mean also my mom was actually, she had a book idea.
Ooh.
Which I informed her that it was the plot of The Boys in Brazil.
I don't know what that is, and I don't want to know.
It was going to be a book series where there were groups of clones made of the worst people in history. Clones of Ed Gein, Charles Manson, Hitler, Stalin, Mussolini, Genghis Khan, or whatever. Like all these people that they have the DNA of, that there were clones made of them, and they would be put into different areas of the world, and it would follow each of their stories, like them growing up. Kind of like a mixture of Boys in Brazil and Clone High, like to see how much is it in their nature. It's like, what would happen if Hitler's father wasn't abusive?
What would happen if he got accepted in the art school?
Yeah. What would happen if his mom wasn't...
That's a nexus event.
What would happen if Hitler's mom wasn't actually his dad's second cousin? And like a 40-year age difference. Yeah. All those type of things. Like, what would have happened if this wasn't like this? It's like, are people predisposed? I don't think so. Yeah. I think people are naturally good, or at least naturally neutral.
I think people are natural sinners.
Well, but no. What I mean is, like, people will not naturally be evil.
I think there's some people out there that are made or like
because
born evil.
They weren't born that way, but that's how they were brought up because of their circumstance. Well, with some extenuating circumstances.
Exceptions.
Who would you say is exceptions?
I'd say there's definitely some people like that were like born evil, like mad, like the Antichrist.
That's not quite a person.
Well, it is.
That's not what I mean.
It's a him.
It's not what I mean.
It's a him. Did you all know that?
Yeah. No, but like I'm saying, like that whole thing of, do you think Hitler would have become Hitler if he grew up differently?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
his behavior had to have been learned.
Because
right, but the thing is,
Church of Philadelphia.
The thing is,
which is also known as the Great Persecution.
But what I'm saying, okay. Well, that's I think that's some good answers for it. Huh?
Take like a serial killer.
Right.
Put him in a different situation. I completely agree with you. It's like how, how do I say this without being dirty?
John Wayne Gacy. He dressed up as a clown and then kidnapped
the Mochos. The Mochos.
Oh.
If Mochos weren't fadiddled when they were child, then there's a better chance that they wouldn't do the fiddling.
That's true.
It's a long, strenuous process.
It's a learned behavior.
Because you literally can go down the line and follow it back. Mm-hmm. That's almost in every situation.
That's true.
The Mochos.
All right. I think we're ready for the next question.
Yeah. Who's Jesus? Okay. What is one area that you find?
The question was, who is someone you admire and want to be more like? Let's make this exclusively people who are 100% human and only 100% human, not 100% anything else. Because I feel like that's the natural answer, and that's now. Not saying it's wrong, but it's a boring answer.
Is there boring answer.
Because that's what most people who are like us are going to say. That's who most people who are like us are going to say. What? I'm trying to say that correctly. But what
you got it. You got it down. To be more like. I don't know who I would. I don't know. I guess my parents.
I was gonna say my grandpa. He was cool. That's about it. All right, that wasn't too. The level 5 ones, the level 4 ones seem to be a little bit better.
They were deeper.
What's an area that you find yourself being overly critical of others?
Stupidities. People not having common sense. People not bearing common sense.
I know I'm overcritical of myself a lot.
Okay, well that wasn't the question.
But I'm so overcritical of myself that I don't really have time to be critical of others. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. That's a complete lie and fabrication, and I know it. But I don't know.
I'm just gonna leave it at other people being stupid. I can't handle it.
I would agree with that.
I
would agree with that pretty heavily, actually. So let's see.
What is one area you've seen personal growth in?
I definitely think that my faith walk has improved significantly since March, as well as the fact that I have been being healthier, and my hygiene has gotten better, like significantly. What about for you?
I would say I've seen growth in the adulting aspect of life, like going out there and doing things.
Yeah.
In what ways do you feel you don't measure up?
I think I don't recognize enough all that God has done for me, all that he will do for me, and all that he's doing for me. I don't recognize that enough. Someone said it to me very eloquently during the show. Do not mourn the Holy Spirit. It's like, don't let it go to the backslide. And I feel like I don't measure up in that aspect where I feel like I don't spend enough time with it, and I feel like I don't do it to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can agree with you on that.
Whose opinions? Wait, did you have more of an answer for that? Or
no,
I
just agree with
okay.
you.
Okay. You're standing in agreement. Whose opinions about you matter the most? And we're going to make this mutually exclusive again.
Mutually exclusive. You could probably guess mine very easily. There's well, actually no, that's
Marley and your parents.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
The rest you could all
Gina, because
she's like
Gina is very much of a mother figure for me, and she tells me like it is constantly, and
she does dish it out,
and
she does dish it
now
out right.
The only opinions of Gina that do not matter to me is whatever she says about my hair.
Ryan, you look like a skunk.
Because she told me not to do this. She told me not to shave my head. Well, not shave my head, but she told me not to get a buzz cut, and I went ahead and did it anyway.
You're rebellious.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Nice. Got him. What is one significant criticism others have made about you? I got it.
What? You're unbearable.
Yes, I've been described as unbearable, but a lot of people see me as like an a-hole.
Yeah.
Which I can accept.
Like, people will see you as like kind of overly critical of them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It's normally that falls under what I'm critical about people. I can't handle idiots. So I treat people like idiots when they act like idiots.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Can you what's the question again?
The question is, what is one significant criticism others have
people
made?
Have told me that I like things my way.
Or the highway.
Like, I've
actually heard this
I get
before.
somewhat upset when, or at least I show that when people are doing things off of how, because I'm the thing is, I'm a leader, but I'm a leader with what works for me. So I'm more of a director than a leader. You know what I mean? I like things the way that I want them, and I'm very hypocritical in that, where I don't want people to have it their way. I want it my way. And I have I struggle with that a lot.
The director comes out.
Yeah.
It's funny. What is one question you wish someone could tell you the answer to? I don't wish to know what my questions are.
What is one question you wish someone could tell you the answer to?
I don't know.
I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah. Yes, there you go. Loop, what choices do you find yourself making that are out of sync with what matters most to you?
Falling back into the things that I know I shouldn't be doing.
There you go. That's a good question.
Just any like sinful behavior that I know is wrong, and I say it's like I'm not gonna
do it.
Do this anymore.
Not gonna do it.
And then I do.
Does it?
And then bada bing, bada boom.
It happens. It happens.
It happens.
What can you say? We're all sin.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
Jesus is never gonna get to that point where it's like no matter how many times I forgive you, you just keep going back. It's like no matter what I do, it seems like nothing ever gets through to you.
Till I die. Till I die. All the cameras let you know until I die.
That one's an easy one. That one's too easy.
Wait. Go back. Go back. You just completely skipped the last question.
Oh, that's true. So, how do you personally determine if something is right and wrong? Well, I have my own personal moral compass. Acts like within what the Bible has set out. And I have my own like personal morals on top of that, like things that I won't do that aren't like explicitly mentioned and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I see like almost everything in black and white.
I see the world as one big gray blob.
I don't.
I know you very much see things in black and white.
Yeah.
I am always fighting for the middle ground, where it's like I could see how someone could perceive that as being the right thing to do, whereas I still personally think it was wrong, but I understand where they're coming from. Mm-hmm. Basically, don't be, how do I say this without swearing? Don't be a D word. Just don't be mean to people. Don't be a bad person. Like, that's...
Find the purpose in life.
No, that's the last question right there. We've got one more question. And just before we hit the 2-hour mark,
which makes this officially the longest podcast.
Yeah, we thought the one earlier tonight was going to be the longest one, but that's not true.
Hey, when we said we're going to be milking the content for me being here, we milk the content.
Yeah.
If someone asked you what you believe life is all about, what would you say?
Well, I mean, for us, it's fairly simple.
Yeah.
But on top of that, there's so much more, because there's what we're called to do, but then there's what our personal feelings are about what we want to do and what we feel is our purpose that we have outside of the purpose that we already know for a fact we're called for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we
have our spiritual purpose, which is to spread the good news.
Like in Mark chapter 16, Jesus gives the Great Commission, where the last time that we see Jesus before he ascends, he tells us exactly what we need to do. We need to go out into the world, make disciples, lay hands on people, heal the sick, evangelize, prophesy in his name, and all that, which way and the other. But then aside from that, life is about family
and
faith.
Friends.
Because
faith.
Family isn't just who you're related to.
It's your brothers and sisters
family
in Christ.
Is your kinfolk.
Kinfolk are people who you're related to.
Family is like who you consider to be family. You don't need to be blood related to somebody, which we're all blood related, but you don't need to be closely blood related to somebody to consider them family. I mean, like, you and Marley aren't blood related, but you will be literally and more than literally family.
And the law of the land.
As a matter of law. So, yeah.
Wow, that was a deep episode.
That was the well-known pocket guide.
Well-known pocket guide challenge.